So we're filming this cat right here, and we're testing the MinBo M2 microphone, and I'm able to capture audio in front of the camera and behind the camera. So this is a really nifty feature that I love about this microphone. In this video, we're going to be talking about my new favorite shotgun mic that has a very unique feature. I'm talking about 7RYMS MinBo M2 shotgun microphone. Let's get right into the video. So the first thing I want to talk about is the build quality. And right off the bat, I have to say I'm very impressed with how small the footprint of this microphone is. It weighs just about 45 grams, and that's just about 5 grams heavier than the Rode VideoMicro. It's also 4 inches long, and the Rode VideoMicro is about 3 inches long. So all in all, I have to say it's a very compact design. Now obviously, it's a little bit bigger than the Rode VideoMicro, and that's for good reason. And we're going to be talking about the two microphones that are actually on this microphone that gives it a bidirectional. This is one of my favorite features, and I'm really excited to talk about. Another thing I want to note about the build quality is that it's fully built of metal, so it's a very sturdy microphone, and it definitely feels premium when holding it in the hand. And one of my favorite aspects of the design is, as I'm looking at it, there's kind of like these little ripples. It kind of has a little texture look to it on the actual microphone. This kind of gives it the look of what the Deity mics have as well, so I really like that little kind of ripple texture on the actual metal design. As you can tell by now, this is definitely a direct competitor to Deity's D4 DUO microphone, which also has a very similar type of feature. We'll be getting to a comparison with a similar type of microphone, not exactly the D4, but we're going to be comparing it with the Deity D3 microphone. One of the things I really appreciate that the company 7RYMS included was a hard case, and I have to say this hard case feels really premium, definitely very hard, and it's going to hold your microphone, and obviously the two windscreens over here, so that when you're outside, you can definitely block all this kind of windy noise out there. But it's just a very nice added touch that they included a case. I think that's definitely an upside compared to the Rode VideoMicro. One thing I want to note about the windscreens is that it actually is extremely easy to put it on and off. So when you want to take off your windscreen and put it back on, it's very easy, unlike the Rode VideoMicro. I remember when I was trying to do that, I'm not sure if they updated the design, but trying to put the windscreen on the Rode VideoMicro was just a very strenuous and the most annoying process in the world. So I'm very glad that the design of putting on the windscreen is extremely well done. Another awesome design choice that 7RYMS has picked for this type of microphone is that they include a dual shock mount. And this is a Ryco shock mount. This is going to allow you to prevent any type of reverberations, any kind of shakes that get transferred into the microphone while you're handling the camera. So that's a very nice added touch. The last thing I want to note about the actual build quality and design of this microphone is that there are no batteries required. And thank goodness, I'm so grateful that they didn't have to force us to use batteries. Now I'm starting to see a trend of manufacturers embedding batteries in the microphone for the simple reason of switching from TRS to TRRS connection. This allows you to plug it into, say, for example, a smartphone, and then you can plug it into a camera without having two different types of cords. And in terms of having this battery just to do that function, I find it kind of silly. I'd much rather just have this two cords so I don't have to, because I'm not really swapping between a smartphone and a camera that often. This is the type of feature that was featured on the Deity D3. And what I found really annoying about it was that just to have this feature, I would have to have the battery working. But if the battery died, the microphone wouldn't work. So sometimes on a shoot, what would happen is that the microphone wouldn't even turn on and it would not even record my voice, just for the simple function of switching from TRS to TRRS. So I think it's a really silly feature, and I'm really glad they opted not to include this kind of smart switching between smartphone and camera. Maybe that's a bonus, maybe this is a downside for you, but for me, I'd much rather have no battery so that I'm for sure always going to be recording some audio and not get surprised at the end of like a long shoot and find out, oh, I didn't film anything because my single AA battery ran out. Now you can still use the MinBo M2 microphone on your smartphone. All you need to do is buy a really cheap $10 accessory, and that's the TRRS adapter. So you get to use this wonderful microphone on a smartphone and a camera without having to worry about managing your batteries. So let's talk about the biggest feature on here, and that's the dual microphone design. And what I really loved about this, and this is something that I dreamed about, I really wanted a type of microphone like this, was that, let's say I'm vlogging or I'm filming documentary style, I want to be able to talk into the camera and not have to move the camera just to face me so that it picks up my voice clearly. If you're using like a typical shotgun mic, it's probably going to be in a Supercardioid type of pattern, so it's really only going to pick up voice right in front of the camera. So if you speak behind the camera, it's going to sound a little muffled. It's not going to sound very clear. Now with this shotgun microphone, anytime I speak behind the camera, it picks up my voice and it's crystal clear and it sounds like a voiceover, for example. So what I really like to do with this type of design is, let's say I want to film something, let's say I'm filming an unboxing or just filming some people, whatever, some animals. It's nice to give a voiceover. It's nice to be able to like film what is the action happening there, capture all the audio. Let's say you want to do some ASMR. Let's say you're opening a box, you're peeling some stuff. You're going to capture all that audio on the front directional microphone, but then you can also voiceover. So this is an amazing feature. So obviously this is a very versatile microphone for vlogging, documentary, unboxing, just filming day-to-day life. It's really great for capturing audio in every direction. But of course, if you really want to have the best sound quality and you just get to be talking right in front of the camera, you can obviously switch to the Supercardioid type of pattern, and that's going to pick up just from the front of the microphone, and it's going to sound even better. So the sound quality, just speaking into this microphone, I honestly think it sounds better than the Deity D3 mic. We're going to run some sound tests. You guys can decide what you guys think in terms of what is the best sounding microphone, but for my uses, I think this is a fantastic microphone. One thing I do want to state is that I am speaking in an untreated room, so obviously there's going to be a lot of echoes, reverberation, so it's not going to sound as good if you put some foam around your house or something like that. And another thing I want to note is that I'm not recording directly into a dedicated recorder. If you record into, let's say, a really good preamp, it's going to sound a lot better. Right now I'm just recording directly into the Panasonic G9. I think the audio is going to be quite good, picked up through the Panasonic G9. I'm using an extension cord. Hopefully there's no interference, because the longer the extension cord, the more possibility of degradation. For most situations, using a long extension cord is going to be fantastic. Another tool you can use is, say, for example, a wireless microphone system like the Rode Wireless Go or the CK Mova UM100, which I did review on this channel. So you can definitely use that setup to get the most versatility using your shotgun mic. So you might be wondering, why is the camera so close to my face for this sound test? Well, I want to simulate something that is as close as possible to a real life vlogging experiment. So typically the microphone isn't going to be further than, say, 30 centimeters away from the vocal sound source. And this gives you a good sense of what it sounds like in an untreated room indoors. And obviously we'll be comparing this to outdoors. And most importantly, I'm not using an extension cord. I'm plugged directly into the camera using the included TRS connection. So there's going to be virtually no degradation in audio quality when speaking directly in this method. I'm currently plugged into the Panasonic G9 at a -10 decibel preamp setting. So the distance from my mouth to the microphone is about 2 of these, just for your reference. Obviously there's no editing in post. Maybe I'll just try to keep everything leveled at the same volume. And I'll be comparing this with a different microphone, and I'll be switching between different types of polar patterns. Here's a quick tip. If you want to compare the samples side by side, use the timestamps below in the description of this video so you can jump between each audio sample. In order to make this video not too long, I did not include all the audio samples. However, I will be publishing a new video with more audio samples for you to compare. So definitely subscribe to this channel if you want to get a notification whenever this video is released. Okay, so I'm going to switch to bidirectional and see if that makes any difference in the sound quality. Several types of microphone are used today, which employ different methods to convert the air pressure variations of a sound wave to an electrical signal. The most common are the dynamic microphone, which uses a coil of wires as magnetic field, the condenser microphone, which uses a vibrating diaphragm as a capacitor plate. So I'm in bidirectional, speaking to the rear of the microphone. Several types of microphone are used today, which employ different methods to convert the air pressure variations of a sound wave to an electrical signal. The most common are the dynamic microphone, which uses a coil of wire suspended in a magnetic field, the condenser microphone, which uses a vibrating diaphragm as a capacitor plate. Several types of microphones are used today, which employ different methods to convert the air pressure variations of a sound wave to an electrical signal. The most common are the dynamic microphone, which uses a coil of a wire suspended in a magnetic field, the condenser microphone, which also uses the vibrating diaphragm as a capacitor plate. So I switched to the Deity VideoMicro D3, and this is a similarly priced microphone, albeit a little more expensive, and it doesn't have the dual microphone design featured on the MinBo M2. Several types of microphones are used today, which employ different methods to convert the air pressure variations of a sound wave to an electrical signal. The most common are the dynamic microphone, which uses a coiled wire suspended in a magnetic field, the condenser microphone, which uses a vibrating diaphragm as a capacitor plate. So we're outdoors and we're going to be testing the MinBo M2 microphone. Right now it's set to bidirectional, so I'm just speaking really close into the microphone, just what a typical vlogger would do, just holding the camera with their arms sticking out. So I'm not too far. I think it's going to sound really good outdoors, especially since there's no nearby walls, nothing to reverberate the sound, so nothing's going to bounce across the walls. It's going to sound really good outdoors. One thing I want to do note is that I have both the windscreens on. There isn't a lot of wind outdoors right now, so you're not going to get a full effect of it, but I do think it does a really good job. If I just move around, there's going to be no kind of wind muffling. So as I walk, I'm also going to be testing the Rycote shock mounts, see if it absorbs any of the physical vibrations of me holding the camera, and hopefully you're not going to hear it as I'm walking. So let's switch into kind of like a documentary style. I'm going to flip the camera and we're going to just be talking into the rear microphone, because right now I'm in the bidirectional mode. So let's flip it around. Okay, so now we're just walking, and as you can see, the snow is rather difficult to walk on, but I'm just using the rear microphone using the bidirectional mode. How does this sound? Testing 1, 2, 3. So as you can see there, we were testing the bidirectional mode. Let's flip into the Supercardioid type of pattern. Okay, now I'm speaking just into the Supercardioid pattern. So just only using the front directional mic. And let me know how this sounds. This probably is going to sound a little bit better because it's not picking any background sound from the rear microphone. So it's going to be really focused on my voice. If I flip around, as you can see, I am speaking into the rear microphone, but it shouldn't really pick up my voice because we're using obviously the Supercardioid type of pattern. So let me know what you guys think, how it sounds between the bidirectional outdoors versus the Supercardioid type of pattern. So in conclusion, 7RYMS MinBo M2 is a fantastic shotgun microphone. The dual design is really groundbreaking. It's something that's really innovative that we haven't seen for a while. And most importantly, it's a very small, compact design. So it's great for on the run, running gun shots, or you just want to pack it into your case and have something very compact on you all the time. I really do think that the dual microphone design is going to add more creative possibilities in your shoots. And in terms of sound quality, I have to say it sounds amazing. It's very crisp, it picks up my voice very clearly, and I'm very happy with the performance, especially given the price point. So in the end, I have to say I definitely do recommend this microphone. Definitely check it out, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.